Hey guys, today we got a 2000 Ford Ranger. It's a 3.0 6-cylinder, and my little battery light came on the dash. So I took a meter to my battery and it's showing like 12.25 volts at idle, which is not very good. I replaced this alternator years ago from AutoZone. So they're warrantying it for me, so we're going to go ahead and replace it. So there's a couple different ways to get in here. I'm going to choose probably the easier way, but you could actually take this plastic air vent here off if you wanted to. There's a flathead there, or I don't know what size that is. You could use a flathead screwdriver here and here and pull that out, or you could just unclip your air box. It has two little clips down here that you put. Before I continue any further from here, we want to make sure to disconnect the battery before I forget. Always disconnect the battery before you start. Obviously I haven't pulled any electrical stuff off, so we're still good. But I'm going to go on that side. I'm going to disconnect the battery cables. Now I have an unusual battery connector on my ground side, so it's not normal like any other. It's a gold turbine over here, so just, you know, loosen your cables and take them off, depending on what type of connection you have there. So push, and then just kind of lift it up, and then pull out. Clip is right here on this side, and then there's one on the other side. And then you could, if you wanted to just do that and move that out of the way, then that way you can get in here. You basically have to take off 3 bolts here, but before we do that, we do need to loosen up the tensioner so we can take the belt off. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get some kind of a wrench down here on the tensioner, and you want to pull it and then pull the belt off. I'm going to try to bring you in so I can show you a little bit. Okay guys, so I have this red bar, turns to black obviously, and it goes down there, and I have it on the tensioner, that one right there, which is just below the air conditioner. It's right down there. I got my socket on there with my long handle, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull this handle towards us. And as I pull towards me, that tensioner moves and releases the tension. Once it releases the tension, then we can go ahead and take the belt off of that side. You can take it off any side you want. You just got to remember how to loop it through. So I want to just take it off over there. That way I'm not sitting here having to figure out how to put that on. But if you do mess up, usually in the front of your car, it shows the belts how they go on right there. And it even tells you right there, you know, how you're supposed to pull that bar down in the tension. That's exactly what we're doing. We're pulling towards us or down. We just have the battery in the way, so we can't really pull down because that bar is kind of long. So I'm going to set you back up on the tripod. Again, if you want to work a little bit easier, you can try to move, pull this hose out. I don't want to pull it out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to unplug my map sensor right here so that the cord's out of the way. And now I can move this further out of the way like that. And now we have exposed in here a bit about what we want. So I'm going to push this that way. I'm going to pull the belt off right there. I'm just going to lay it straight down, then up on the tensioner. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to unbolt this right here. These are 13mm bolts. There we go. Just breaking them loose. And just try to remember where each bolt goes so that you're kind of putting them in the same location. So those two are the bottom ones. And then this is the top one. Okay. Now, our hose is kind of a little bit in the way here, so just try to work around it as best you can. Tuck it down a little bit. We need to pull off this harness right here. We need to pull off this harness, this little harness, and then once we got those out, we're going to bring it a little bit further over here, kind of flip it over a little bit, and then we're going to unbolt the last one. I believe it's a 10 millimeter. But these ones here, we want to be real careful with the little screwdriver, and then just kind of pry it up. There we go. Don't pull on this little tab here. Just trying to pry up, because if not, if you pull on this little tab towards you and then up, it generally breaks that tab. Okay, so you just want to be careful there. Turn this sideways. Do the same thing here. Now this one does have a little bit of a tab on the same thing, but this one we're just going to barely lift it a hair. So I'm going to try to. So what you want to do right here is, I'm just trying to get to the tip of here. I'm not trying to pry it up. I'm just trying to kind of pull the wire and give it just a little bit of a push, because this is really delicate. We gotta remember, this thing's a 2000, so it's kind of old. We don't want that thing breaking. So now we're gonna turn it over on its side. Now, you should have a little plastic boot on top of here. Mine kind of disintegrated and fell off, so I don't have that boot anymore. And then we're just gotta break that loose. The 10 millimeter. Just be real careful here not to drop anything. There's the connection. And then the alternator should just come out now. Oh wait. There's a little strap that's just right there, kind of plugged into that piece. Can you guys see that? It's actually easier than it looks. Just there's stuff in the way that's kind of getting in there, you know. There's our old alternator. We're going to grab the new one, compare it real quick, and then we're going to pop it back in there. Okay guys, here's the new alternator. I already compared it, and it does look the same. We're going to pop it back on there. We're going to go reverse order. We're going to first put this connection on first. Now this one comes with a new nut. So we're going to go ahead and use the new nut on there. I should have put gloves on from the beginning. I just didn't even think about it. I started getting all dirty. Go ahead and tighten this down, just nice and snug. Do not over tighten it, you might break it. And then we're going to go ahead and lay this thing back down like it was sitting in here before, like so. Before we continue, we're going to go ahead and plug these in. We're going to plug this one in, and then we're going to plug that one in. There, and there, so get all that out of the way. Get our bolts. Line that up, and then just start them. Start the bolts on there, get them on, just so that the alternator is not moving on you. Just to show you, I'm putting this one in too. So basically the 3 bolts back on there. Now these were pretty snug on there, so I'm just going to hit them with my drill real quick, and then I'm going to hand tighten them. nice and tight. Nice and snug. Go ahead and put this piece back on there. It snaps right back on there. And then this is our mass airflow. I'm going to push my lever back that way so that the tensioner loosens again, and then I'm able to put my belt back on just like that, and then let up on the tensioner. I'm going to take that off of there. Now these tensioners are really nice. I bought these at Harbor Freight. They came with like a couple sockets. This is a 15mm for that. This is perfect for this type of job. You try to use a ratchet or something, it's hard to get your hand in there. This kind of gets up out of the way. It's perfect. Okay, so we got our plugs plugged in, all our bolts torqued down, we got the belt back on, get the air box back on here. And all we're doing is just kind of fitting it back in. Make sure the 3 little tabs go back in their spot. And then make sure they're all snapped right back into place, into this little spot right here. Let's go ahead and put that back on. This goes right there. And that pretty much does it. Now we just got to hook up the battery back up. Now my alarm's probably going to go off and make a bunch of noise. My keys just in case. Nope, we're good. Okay. Put that down. My battery. See, I've never tightened that thing back down. I'll torque that down in a minute. So that pretty much does it, guys. Move this stuff out of the way, start up the vehicle, make sure we're charging. Alright, let's start her up, see what happens. Alright. Charging now, 14.818. Perfect. And my check engine light turned off. Yeah, I had a feeling my voltage was getting so low, my check engine light started turning on. So that pretty much does it, guys. That job's really, really easy. I mean, I think it took a lot of me to go get the alternator at the store, then put that thing in. There was a couple of YouTube videos that were out there that kind of gave me a little bit of a guide, so thank you guys. So I figured I'd make my own. But thanks you guys for watching. If you have any questions, hit me up. Have a great day.